The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is a HeadGum podcast. You got mail.
Hi, I'm Elise Morales.
And I'm Millie Tamaris.
And this is
Go Touch Grass,
the podcast where we log in
so you can log off.
Millie and I are two chronically online comedians, and on this pod, we break down the week in internet discourse, viral memes, TikTok trends, and niche influencer drama so that you can go do literally anything else with your time.
Anything else with your time. And if you like what you hear today and want to hear more, we got a Go Touch Grass Patreon with tons more content weekly, access to our Discord community that's on and popping, and our spin-off series Search History, where we go back and break down a viral discourse from the past. Our latest Search Series history was on the complicated, dynamic legacy of Joanne the Scammer.
Wow. That was a walk down memory lane.
It was
for
a
me.
walk down memory lane.
I loved Joanne.
And also just a study on race relations, adoption, ethics.
Yeah, virality.
Character studies.
Yes.
All of that. And it was voted on by our $10 patrons. You can purchase the episode, but it is there, you know.
Yeah, and I will say just right up top that our next Patreon episode, I am going to dive into the Patti LuPone, Audra McDonald, Broadway dust up. I texted Millie and I was like, it's too deep for me to research for tomorrow. Like, there's too much. There was simply too much. So if you want to hear about Joanne the Scammer, if you want to hear about Broadway divas getting into it with each other, though actually one person wasn't getting into it with anyone. It's only one Broadway diva that was getting into it.
Well, there was an open letter with 500 signatures.
There was. So get ready for that. Anyway, don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love your reviews. We need more of them, but really the best review you can give us is to tell your friends about the podcast. Tag us in a story. We'll repost it. You know that we're online.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Go Touch Grass, on YouTube. We have a full video episode every Saturday. You can get the behind the scenes cut. You can see the jacket that got TikTok in a stir.
Yeah.
And guess what? People sided with me. People were like, he's not seeing the vision. People were commenting saying that Zach needed to learn about undertones and all of that. So you're going to get that stuff on the YouTube.
You're going to get it on the YouTube. But what you're going to get Today we have a wonderful guest in studio.
Rocking the B.O.B. Bob.
Rocking the Bob. You know what? This is a guest who's been holding it down for the Bob community. And you know that I respect the shit out of that.
Bob. But listen, she did a blonde bob. It fucking slayed. All her bobs slay, I'm telling you.
She's bobbed in every font.
Yes.
She's bobbed in every
Bold italic, Garamond, Times New Roman. Bitch, ain't nobody B.O.B.ing like our guest. She's also an actress.
She's also an actress and comedian who you can see in the viral sensation show Overcompensating that's out right now on Amazon Prime. You can also see her on Staple View on Instagram. And it is, guys, get excited for Julia Shiplett.
Hi, friends.
We're
what
so
an
excited.
intro. That really hyped me up.
Yes.
B.O.B.
B.O.B. Bob, baby.
You know,
you gotta use that sound. You guys gotta be using that sound more.
The B.O.B. Bob?
Yeah, the
fuck-ass Bob.
The Nicki Minaj, like, so the B.O.B. Bob.
Yes.
Bob. Yeah, you gotta be.
I gotta get a
Bob.
personal soundboard.
You gotta get a personal soundboard. I know, I mean, honestly, as a Caribbean person, you need to have that with air horns at all times.
Yeah. I told you, and I'll share this with you, that one time I was walking my dog and I had my headphones in, and I live near a middle school, which means that, like, if I'm walking near when the middle school gets out, kids are gonna say some shit to you because they're little kids at a middle school. So I was walking and this girl said something to me, but I couldn't quite make it out. But I know she was talking shit to me, and she said like, no, you're Bob, or she said no, you're dog, and I couldn't tell what it was, and it took me a second to register that, like, she was clowning me in front of her friends. So I took my headphones out and I went like, what? Thinking that she's like a child who needs something, and then she went like white as a sheet, and her friends all ran away, and one of her friends went, sorry. And they ran away. And so I'll never know if she was saying something about my Bob or my dog.
You're like,
One
that's
time-
what I thought.
Yeah. I was
that's
like,
what I fucking thought. Yeah, at least fights in middle school.
I would love that. I mean, I feel like we all sort of look like big kids,
I know.
TBH.
Well, I'm saying that the trend for, and I feel like you wear appropriate pants always. Your pant style is good, but I'm like
gassing up Julia, right?
gassing
We're like,
up
great
Julia.
Bob, great
pants,
appropriate pants.
Appropriate pants.
Like you know what I mean? Like you're following the trend, but you're not doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
I try.
But
Thank you.
the we talked about it, like because we all look like big kids. To your point, the girlies are the hot girlies are dressing like Malcolm in the Middle bullies, like bullies on Malcolm in the Middle, or
That's
like
really
even
funny.
Stevens. Like
Yes.
somebody said in our Discord channel. And
Yes.
Does
is
that
a
just
big
mean
thing.
like androgynous big t-shirts?
and like
Yeah.
the layered big shirts and the
Yeah.
big jorts?
yeah.
Big George.
Big jorts. People are saying
One of my favorite Google image searches that you can look up anytime is just Kevin Smith huge jorts. There's a picture of him wearing jorts that are it's unbelievable to behold the jorts that Kevin Smith had on.
Well, okay, one thing, right? Okay, back to the Zach episode, and then we're gonna go to Julia.
Yeah.
But somebody was saying on the comments of our TikTok, they're like, "Ill Rockaware in 2025," and I'm like, first of all, bitch is vintage.
It's vintage.
Second of all, you wouldn't blink a goddamn eye if
this
Billie
is-
Eilish
Was Zach was wearing Rockaware. wasn't
Well,
he?
we went vintage shopping like 2-3 years ago, and I was like, you got to get this oversized denim jacket, and it was Rockaware. But like anyone could rock like, and then also like he was like, it's too big, it's too big. You don't wear a tailored denim jacket. A denim jacket could be too small. It could be too big. The conventions of fashion don't fit with denim jackets, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Billie Eilish would wear the same thing, and everyone be like, "Oh my God, she's an icon." She literally dresses like Big Pun. That's what
Well,
everyone says,
But I don't know if Zach is a
that's my
No,
thing is that I
guy.
fit. That's
It's
kind of
not
where
Zach.
I came down.
and that's fair. But if the criticism is the jacket, that's not right.
No,
Yeah.
the jacket was a good
The jacket was a good jacket. I
But
have
maybe
to say.
the jacket was wearing him and not the
I think so. I think a little bit. I
You
think
know,
the
and I
jacket
love
was wearing
Zach.
him,
He's a
and we
cutie.
love Zach. Even despite his viral feud with Millie over the jacket, we do love Zach.
so funny.
And but according, there's somebody else we love. Okay, we love Julia.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's such a
Millie once gave me the best compliments of my life.
Oh,
and I
what
don't
did I
even know
say?
if you remember it. You were like, you look like Roxanne from a Goofy movie.
you do,
You do. Oh,
you do.
And that's why you
So
guys need to
fucking
subscribe to the
nice.
YouTube because
She
you really
is
do look like
giving. You got
Roxanne.
the cute nose, the freckles,
But
the
she
eyes.
has the long hair. Her
Yeah.
hair is such a big part of
She
it.
wasn't
and I don't-
bobbing.
She
was not
wasn't bobbing, but you know what? I'll say this. If you want to go the ginger route, like the ginger hair route that's popping now with a big like side bang, like it works.
Damn.
Yeah, and
You
a
know it
beret.
works.
I
And
feel
a
like she
beret.
had a beret on it.
That was her
No, that's her friend.
friend with
when
the
they go to
glasses.
college.
When
Sorry.
they go to college.
Who
Sorry.
spiritually
sorry.
identify with more.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I did love
Well, we
Wow,
kinda-
call me in for comparing two. What are they? Dogs? Two dog women?
Yeah,
Two
dog
girls.
women.
Oh
dog
no, I got the
girls.
two redheaded dog women confused. I'm so sorry.
There's gonna be. Like,
they don't all look the same.
I'm
Elise.
sorry. I'm sorry. Call me in. Okay, Julia. Before we get into our episode, we do got to ask. I mentioned that you are in overcompensating. That's so exciting. There is much. I'm getting TikToks about overcompensating all the time. I'm seeing edits. I'm seeing you in an edit.
I love
People
that.
are featuring. How has like the online response to being in something like that been for you?
It's been really fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I'm not a big character, so I feel like, I'm not getting the volume that some of the other characters
Yeah.
are. But I think that like a lot of the young queers are loving seeing this like version of them. Like it's fun being one of the few like openly queer characters
Yes.
on this season. Obviously, it's a coming out story, so I think there's going to be a lot more of that.
Oh,
But
teasing. Season 2, maybe.
I truly know nothing. But
Okay.
It's
But
funny
just
to be
like-
season 2, there might be another gay person.
Yeah,
there might be
that's a
more
high
gay
chance.
people.
Yeah, more gay people.
You heard
in
it
the
here
gay
first.
show about
Um,
being gay.
But I think it's fun. I think also like it's fun being someone who's kind of alt and like,
Mhm.
I would not like gothy, but like e-girl, Tumblr era,
Yeah.
Grimes coded,
Yeah.
and like a
Grimes
very
coded.
preppy show. So I
Yeah.
think like that's just fun to get like, just
Yeah.
seeing like cool all queer kids.
Yeah, your
Be like,
styling in it is very, very fun.
it's really fun. It's
Yeah.
really, really fun.
E-girl, definitely. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's such a specific and alt like category. And speaking of alt, something that you do with your original content that I think is really funny is you'll use the like latest filters to like inspire characters and stuff. Like your tattooed chef one. I think I saw one about like Gen Z pant styling versus
Yes,
millennial
yes.
styling and stuff. So yeah, like talk to me about like what inspires your characters, maybe some of the ones that you've done, and some responses that you've gotten.
I feel like I really like earnestly enjoy a lot of content that's out there that
Yeah.
is like so sincere and just be like, I love this food, or like, look at my cute outfit. Like they're not trying to be funny. They're just trying to like be real. But I think we're comedians, so my instinct is I'm like, I gotta riff off this.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
gotta comment on
There's
this.
no such thing as sincerity. You guys are all crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you people, you too.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm saying me too. Yeah. No, we
All
all
of
like,
us.
we don't like sincerity.
it's hard.
I
but
admire it in others. Like I feel if I think about like myself doing an earnest get ready with me style video, I feel like I can't get myself to do it. But there is something about a person who can just be like, I think I look really nice today. Do you guys want to see what I'm
Totally.
wearing? That I'm like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful that you can do that.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I did one when we did the photo shoot for this fucking podcast cover. I did get ready with me to prep for the podcast shit because it was like a long day. And I'm like, people might want to see that. Like, I have to do my hair. I have to do my makeup. I have to walk to Elise's house, get in an Uber, go to this random guy's weird ass apartment, walk up 5 flights of stairs, take all these pictures, and it looks really good. And that's a fun day, whatever. But it fucking took me forever to edit. And I'm like,
that's the thing.
and that's
Yeah.
how I'm like, God bless these people who do that. But I will make fun of you still.
I feel like it's just because then I get inspired to like do that thing, but then I'm like, how do like I subvert this
Yeah, yeah,
somehow? And that to me is like fun. But
Yeah.
I'm still like participating in the thing that I actually am like, I do like this.
Yeah, well,
I lo-
there's no
I-
ethical
I've-
content consumption in modern day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I do be following my like style girls that I love. Like
Yeah.
I just like I'm like, no, I actually want to see what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
No.
important.
I want to see how they're doing their makeup. Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely do want to know.
Mhm.
I feel like my ability to do makeup has gotten so much better since TikTok because I can actually like watch videos of people applying makeup and how they do it.
Not YouTube. Interesting.
No, I was never a YouTube makeup tutorial person. They needed to start getting like fed to me in the form of TikTok. I don't really like use YouTube like that, like follow channels and watch all of their updates and all that stuff.
I would Google, like, if I have a vision in my head of what I want to do makeup wise, I'll Google that, like, or I'll
Yeah.
YouTube it, like, go like a bronze, smoky eye for black women or whatever, and I'll look it up and I'll look at their techniques. I look up what shades they're using and all that stuff. But TikTok has made it better because those videos would be 20 minutes long.
That's the other thing.
Now the videos are a minute long and you're seeing it faster. So I totally get that.
Yeah, I think that's where it got me. You know what? The discussion of earnest content and earnestness online actually leads us quite directly into our discourse in
Let's
a
go.
beautiful way.
Let's go.
So,
Yeah.
Julia, the discourse is our segment where we talk about something that everybody is chit-chatting about online. And I would say, okay, I'm calling this discourse, is it cursed content, singing edition?
So cursed content is another segment where we share things that are cursed.
Yeah.
Like cursed content. You know,
Yes, yes,
content
yes.
that's disturbing, shows us the humanity, like the
Yeah.
reality of being human in a dark way.
Yes. And I feel like both the videos that we're about to watch are related to singing.
Yeah.
And people are semi-divided on if they're cursed or cringe or not. So we're gonna
We're living in
decide.
Okay.
polarized times right now.
We are. Everything is.
So polarized.
So is it kind of like, is it cursed or blessed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them
They're
are
not
blessed,
blessed.
but they
Yeah,
might be
they're not
neutral.
blessed.
Okay,
They
cool.
might be okay.
Okay. Great. Great.
So we're going to start with someone on TikTok who has become known as the Tiptoes Singer.
You know the Tiptoes Singer?
No.
You never heard of the Tiptoes Singer?
No.
Well, you're about to.
I feel like you do.
You're about to
Let's
hear him
see.
in a big
I'm not
way.
on TikTok like that.
Wow.
I'm unfortunately a gram girl, and I want to not be either.
Anyway, you'll hear
In a
about him in
different
like
way.
3 weeks.
Yeah, you'll hear about him in 3
No,
weeks.
I'll get the like carousel on Instagram in
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
But all right, so we're going to start with talking about the Tiptoes Singer. So the Tiptoes Singer is an American singer named Brendan Abernathy. And on May 19th, he uploaded a video promoting his next single, which is titled Married in a Year. I will say that right now, Brendan has 26,000 followers on TikTok, but this is after this very viral situation. So my guess would be gotta be like max 10,000 before, maybe even less. But I like to just say to try to like triangulate how much power a person had going into this situation, you know? So the video we're about to watch is him performing. It seems kind of like maybe he's at a college.
Or like a bonfire.
Like at a party. Yeah, the vibe that it's giving to me is college party where this guy is performing in the middle of a group of people. It's like a circle of people who are all standing around him, and he is performing this song alone with his guitar. So with that setting, let's listen to Married in a Year by Brendan Abernathy.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I know you've seen it.
You'll be married in a year in the suburbs with a kid on the way in 3. Convincing yourself you're living the American dream. And I'll be dancing out in California. Kid who got it all wrong. Convincing myself one day I'll write a love song.
Okay, so that was the Tiptoes Singer. For anyone listening, the reason he is called Tiptoes Singer is because on the line in the suburbs, he kind of emphatically gets up to his tiptoes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense.
So how did the song, how are you receiving Married in a Year by Brendan Abernathy?
I just realized, okay, so I have seen that before.
Of course you have.
On Instagram, naturally.
Made it today.
Nori Reed posted it in her stories and was like, Benson Boone, this is your fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big response. Big
And-
response.
Yeah, he's like, is that an original?
Yeah.
It is his original song,
Wow.
but it's, it's an ancient sound in many ways.
I'm like, okay, see, now I'm gonna like take a few steps back, and because this is giving Claire Danes, the show in the 90s with Jordan Catalano.
Oh,
My
my
So-Called
so-called
Life.
life.
It's giving My So-Called Life is like whatever, and I'm just like, but this is 2025. I thought the kids liked the beep boops, but then Morgan Wallen's #1. I'm trying to
I mean,
make
Benson
sense.
Boone is flipping all over this country
Yeah,
and
but
all over
that's
the
at
world.
least like with
Benson
electric
Boone gives
guitar.
tiptoe.
Yes.
He's giving tiptoe, but this guy's playing guitar. I haven't seen Benson. Benson's not playing electric guitar. He's doing like
He's
Freddie.
flipping.
He's Freddie Mercury. He's doing the like. That kind of makes more sense in context of 2025 of like a mutation of Harry Styles. But this is giving like Americana. I'm just like, I wonder if this is like Trumpian, like conservative, like whatever, going back to its roots. I'm just confused on like, what does this mean about our culture that people are going and seeing this in parties? I don't know.
I think what is unsettling, I hear you, because it is like a throwback to another day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what I find unsettling about the video is that it is at night with all the flash.
Yeah,
The
phone.
phone flashes behind him. Like if he was just like in a field, or at sunset, I'd be like, this isn't for me, but like I'd
It's
be
a
like,
vibe.
that's a sincere tiptoed. Little Prince.
Your tiptoe performance.
And
yeah.
And now there was something menacing about that.
There is something about him standing in the middle of the crowd playing the guitar
On a
at this
dirt-
group
yeah.
that I am
10
like,
people behind him, like,
yeah, I'm like, how did this come to be? Though I will say, the first time this came across my feed, I was like, this kid's doing a lot. But as a millennial who went to college in the indie sleaze era, I was
Yeah.
also like, I've been here. I've
Yeah,
been in
of
this
course.
circle with some guy on his tiptoes screaming about his ex on the guitar and like having a little wail to his voice. So to me, when I first saw how viral it was, I was kind of like, oh, I guess this is coming back. I guess this sound is coming back. That's not how it was being received. So this clip starts going viral, and we now must ask what the internet has been asking since the clip came out. Is it cringe? Because he's being accused of committing the cardinal Gen Z sin of being cringe in the video. Too earnest, corny. That's what was coming up. So here are like some of the comments. I blame Alex Warren and Benson Boone. I thought this was a skit. Just hootin' and tootin'.
Wow. Just hootin' and tootin' is so real.
Just hootin' and
I think you
tootin' is
gotta
real.
say how many views.
Oh,
and
yes. So this did get 19 million views. As of now, it has 19 million views and it has 1.3 million likes. So again, that's super duper
a lot of likes.
That's a lie because a lot of these hating comments have 400,000 likes.
Yes.
So we have to contextualize with like millions of people have seen this.
We got a couple more comments. There's something very youth pastor about this.
So youth pastor. It is. It's Christian.
It is.
Yeah,
it
that's
does
what
feel
I'm
Christian.
saying. Conservative Christian Trump.
If I was a confident white man, I'd be unstoppable. And then this other one says, "Don't quit your day job," and that one does. It's a little mean to me because I'm like, he's not hurting anybody by singing on his tiptoes.
Also, it's 2025. Like, who has a day job?
Who does?
Yeah.
Well, we all have
18. 12
Yeah,
jobs. That's what I
know.
mean. I'm like, okay.
I would love to quit a
1995.
Yeah, I'd love to quit one day job.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, video comes out. Again, once we're getting into the 19 million views territory, this is obviously going far and wide. It starts getting parodied. So I'm seeing a ton of people lip syncing to it. I saw one of this dude who's using his baby as the guitar and lip syncing to it. That was really funny. He starts getting the nickname Tiptoes Singer, which, as we've already discussed, once we're getting into nickname territory, that's not good.
Not good.
That's really not good.
But isn't it kind of good?
I mean, that's, I guess, the fundamental question.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the nickname. The launched.
I think if you can spin it, if you can use tiptoes to elevate yourself.
I'm tiptoes.
Tiptoes
like that
singer.
kind of could be a vibe.
That's how he's taking it.
And we'll get into how he's taking it. We will. One video by it's KRABBELJONGEN. I think he's German because I was looking at all his other videos and they are in German. This video was it's just the sound and then he like animated it and it got 630,000 views and 124,000 likes in one day and then became its own meme. It's this drawing of him on his tiptoes that says "in the suburbs." So I started seeing this now all over the place too. So now there are like sub memes of Tiptoes Singer that also include just this image of being on your tiptoes.
I guess to me, and maybe this is what's unsettling to me, I've always been unsettled and disturbed by people who walk outside in socks. I feel like barefoot makes more sense to me, but walking outside in socks is something that deeply disturbs me.
There shouldn't be fabric directly on the ground.
Yeah, and I just feel like they're so hard to walk. I'm like, people who do that, I'm like, you don't wash your own socks.
But he's barefoot.
No, he's wearing socks.
Okay, because he's barefoot in the drawing.
That's what I'm saying.
The drawing is
artistic
wrong.
liberty.
Okay, this is artistic liberty.
He kind of looked like he was wearing like Vibram, like scary sock shoes. But I wasn't
and
sure.
that's put a pin in the sock shoes.
The toe
because
shoe, you know.
That really scares me when I see out and about people in the shoes that
That's
have individual toes.
A cursed shoe.
That absolutely is a cursed
Well,
piece
you're
of
kind of
fashion.
wearing tabs.
No.
No,
These are different.
Oh, okay. All right.
If you saw all 5 toes, then we can talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a
2
split.
is different.
It's a
Two
split.
is
That's the
different.
cloven hoof
The
is
cloven
different.
hoof,
Cloven
yeah.
hoof is in.
Cloven hoof is in.
So that's just different. So, okay. This starts going viral. It's becoming its own meme, getting insane amounts of views. The sound is going crazy. I start seeing all these videos that are like people going, "That one guy on my feed," and then like parodying him and pretending, and then Tiptoes Singer, this, that, and the other thing. As this is happening, we start to move into a true backlash to the backlash situation where people start to be like, hold up, we're all clowning Tiptoes Singer, but does he really deserve it? Is Tiptoes Singer hurting anybody by singing on his tiptoes? Then we also get to a point where like he does start responding and he's actually being a pretty good sport about it. So this is him singing the song again, Married in a Year, lowercase version. So
I did
he's
not
like,
know he looked like that.
Yeah, this is his look, which, you know, fits in line with, I think, the song.
For sure.
For sure. He's like responding to funny comments about it and just kind of generally taking it in like a good-natured way. There was one where it was him directly responding to the just hootin' and tootin' comment with like a more high-res video of him hootin' and tootin'. I'm like, okay, he's taking it in stride.
Yeah.
Sometimes we gotta just hoot and toot.
Exactly. He's like,
I
you
just
know
want to hoot and
what?
toot this summer.
I just want to hoot and toot and all kinds of shit.
And is hootin' and tootin' hurting anybody?
Absolutely not.
Hooting and tooting, not hurting. The aesthetic is weird to me, or not. Is this where I would hang out? Is this for me? Is this what I want to see? No. But does it have a right to exist? Is this how art is made? The cringe thing is like, there's something about this entire group of population who's like so frightened with vulnerability. It's weird because the same people who are like, this shit is corny and cringe, like, one of their like favorite influencers will record themselves crying and having a full breakdown. Everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, for sure. And I'm like, what? That's cringe.
Exactly. I'm like, but this guy can't hoot and toot with his guitar?
Can't sing in a dusty ass parking lot with a bunch of people around, like. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, part of it is like, with the rise of AI, I've gotten like really crazy, or not really crazy, but I'm starting to think, right? We're starting to see layoffs from AI, and they're going to start laying off copywriters and VFX people. But I'm like, if that's the case, like, what isn't AI going to replace? Like, AI could theoretically replace every single job except the hootin' and tootin'.
You know what AI can't do? Hoot and toot.
No.
Exactly.
They don't know how the fuck to hoot and toot.
They don't know how to fucking hoot and toot.
AI can't get up on its tiptoes.
Yeah.
Can't get up on its tiptoes to say a damn thing.
Exactly.
So he's taking it in stride, and I think that contributes to the narrative changing kind of in his favor, and people starting to shift over to be like, why are we being mean to hoot and toot?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm re-nicknaming him hoot and toot.
Yeah.
So why are we being mean to hoot and toot? And then I think the real thing that like puts a pin in the narrative changing for him, because, okay, to back it up, everyone starts comparing this. They're saying like, this is Cole's music, etc. And I'm like, well, you want to be walking around Cole's in silence? I don't know. Somebody's got to play it.
You can't play deep house in Cole.
Somebody's got to play the music for Cole's. And then people are comparing it to former guest, friend of the pod, Kyle Gordon's like millennial parody music.
I thought it was a Kyle Gordon song.
That's what a lot of people were saying. So
Kyle Gordon probably gets on his tiptoes here and there.
Yeah, but Kyle Gordon is impersonating a character.
He's impersonating Tiptoes. But the big coup that Mr. Abernathy gets is, if we go to this next slide, he does a video with Kyle Gordon. And Kyle meets
Okay,
him.
that's good. I
And then
missed
they
that.
sing.
Now that, okay.
And I'm like, number one.
I want to watch that.
I'm like, number one, that's very nice of Kyle to engage with Tiptoes and to legitimize Tiptoes in this way.
Yeah.
I'm like, good on Kyle.
Where did he go?
He met him in the woods.
Holy
Tiptoes.
shit.
Like,
Kyle is crazy.
Yeah, I know. But I'm like, where is this guy even located? What is this?
I'm thinking like Burbs of Tennessee.
That's what I
know.
would say, but I'm like, Kyle is on the ground in Tennessee doing this shit.
Kyle Gordon got flued out to meet Hoot and Toot.
The devil works fast. Kyle Gordon works
Or
fast.
faster. I know.
I know. I was like, okay, amazing. So then this video comes out and people are like, okay, this is fun. Then he makes another video. And the reason I'm not showing us these is because it's all just the song again, like the sound over it again. But it was him being like, I went from this, and it's like all the negative comments, to this, and it's him and Kyle Gordon. And then the comments start shifting. Now people are like, song's been stuck in my head for a week. Studio version rips. I'm here for it, King. Let's go. The song isn't even really bad. It slaps, and I'm sick of pretending it doesn't.
This song literally isn't even bad. That's like the meanest thing anyone could say.
Imagine you're getting a comment on your stand-up. This isn't even bad.
The comments on my stand-up are like, okay, we get it. Fat people fuck.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
like, can everyone just like what are you fucking doing? I'm like, is that a thing that people say?
Commenters will, it's really interesting the way a commenter will be ostensibly supporting you and then also hurt you more than like you could ever
100%.
possibly imagine. I've been dealing with something where like I have a character up on this like popular character YouTube page called Characters Welcome. And for 1 second in this character, it's a character that's like a romantasy lead, whatever. It's on my Instagram. People can see it.
It's really good. I've watched it multiple times.
I do think it's good. But in the stage version, the full version, for 1 second, I flashed this image, and it is an AI image. I didn't make it. I just found it on Google. I Googled Dragon Fairy Prince, and I screenshot it, and I stole it the old-fashioned way. But the commenters on the YouTube are all arguing about if I like ethically used AI or if I like wasted water to like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't get into it. But one person who was defending me was like, guys, come on. You really expect some no-name comedian to have to buy proprietary art for her little bit? And I'm like, I appreciate the sentiment. I hate the execution. I really don't love how we phrased this one.
The name on everyone's
You're
lips
correct,
is Elise
asshole,
Morales.
But that's so funny.
That happened to me when I said that Elon Musk's MO is that he likes to, talk to every single white woman he finds remotely attractive at his companies and proposition having a baby with them. And when they say no, he punishes them career-wise. And then a lot of his fans were like, you're just mad because he won't fuck you. And then like someone was like, no, she knows she's ugly too.
Oh my People will come to your defense and in the most hurtful way online. It's so crazy. So I just have a couple more comments here. I've def laughed and shared the memes, but genuinely keep being an artist, dude, and making what you want. That's all that matters. The way you've handled this is something marketing teams will study and try to replicate in the future with new artists on social media. Mark my words. So things have now flipped in his favor, and I do want to quickly play a take from this creator who I really like. His handle is @NotWildlin. I think his name is Widlin. He says it like right at the top of this video, but I always know him as NotWildlin. And I feel like it sums up personally how I feel about a hoot and toot TikTok Tiptoes Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to all of my fans and supporters, but this is going to be another Widlin has a bad taste take. I want to make 4 quick points about that boy who's singing on his tiptoes in that big, big room full of Patagonia vests and Pacific Northwest. You'll be dancing in California. The kid who got it out. Here's the thing. Firstly, y'all are going to laugh that kid into success. You're going to laugh him into a bag because low-key, it's kind of stuck in my head. Secondly, he's still posting and doing whatever launch strategy for that single that's about to drop. He's unfazed that everyone is laughing at him. He's clearly passionate about what he's doing, even if that passion comes off a little corny or whatever. I can respect that because I don't think a lot of people have the backbone to stand 10 toes down behind their art and their craft when it comes down to that time. Third, I grew up in a time when people listened to Parachute. When I heard that man sing that song, I understood it the first time because I remember Parachute. This is a genre that white people do, and I'm glad that they're returning to their roots. They call her love, 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 love. She is love. She is all I need. Y'all remember Parachute? Forever and always. I cried when I heard that song for the first time. Parachute has a cover of Carrie Hilson's Pretty Girl Rock that I went up for the first time I heard it because I thought it was cool and creative, amongst other things. And if you played it today, I would still go up for it with the same twinge of irony that I consume most white pop music with, which brings me to my 4th point. A lot of this stuff is not very distinguishable from what y'all like as your faves. Like, I think that there's a very fine line between what people think is corny and what people think is cool. And from my perspective, enjoying white music oftentimes with that same little bit of irony of like, yeah, you go white kid. I don't know. It just seems like it's all the same. It's all burger and fries. So it's so funny to me when everyone's like, this is much different than the stuff I enjoy. It's not. It's really, really not. For example, everyone is laughing at him because they're like, you're singing a song about this woman who's clearly moved on from your relationship with her and she's happy living with someone else. Get over it. Which is fair. And that's true. But also, that's like you singing a song about the fantasy that your ex is actually not over you and is in their new relationship, still thinking about you and silently miserable, is also the plot of Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan. This guy just did it in a very heterosexual font, which is a detraction. That's fair, but it's the same plot. It's all burgers and fries, guys, and I don't know.
It's all burgers and fries.
It's all burgers and fries,
and
babe.
fries, guys.
What say you? I have one dissenting opinion, but I
Yeah.
want to hear from you.
I generally agree. I think that is a good take. I think the fact that, like, because he is doing it in such a heterosexual white male font,
Socks outside,
that it does detract. There's no, someone like Chappell Roan or like a pop girly will either figure out how to make it like somehow subversive or surprising or like cunt and fun.
Yeah.
Or like making fun of herself. Like there's just no, it's just,
that's it.
that's it. And
Yeah.
that's why it's kind of uninteresting and kind of easy,
To make
low-hanging
fun of
fruit. Yeah.
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I would say the subversive aspect is missing, and I think that might be like the puzzle piece that shifts it, like you're saying. And he does say in that like doing Good Luck Babe in a heterosexual font is a detraction. Like part of what makes Good Luck Babe is there is this other layer where it's like she's talking to someone who she's like, you're gay and you're not,
Yeah.
you're not living that way, and that's
So
why
good luck with your life.
Yeah, so good luck
You're
with your
probably
life.
like going to be miserable, but who knows? Maybe that girl isn't. And
I do want to find out where that was actually shot, though, because he's saying Pacific Northwest vibes. I'm thinking
Tennessee,
Southern.
For some reason, I don't know why I heard San Diego, but I
that
heard
could make sense,
I saw
too.
somebody from his past say that, like the guy Tiptoes Singers, like the guy was like, I've known him since college, and they went to college in Georgia.
See, that
that
track.
makes sense.
That's-
Georgia
Someone
would
text
make
Kyle
sense.
Gordon. Gordon knows.
Yeah, let's text Kyle Gordon.
Yeah, let's see, Kyle,
Um,
where did you fly to meet this man?
Where
in the
is
woods?
the forest you're in?
Yeah, I think but the thing is too, I feel that way with most media and comedy, where it's like half of this is like just women be shopping bullshit, and like there's no subversive or twist or anything, but some people just like that sincerity shit, and like that is something. And I keep saying bring up conservative because that is something that you see in conservative media. There's no subversion. It's all just
It's not
straightforward.
layered.
It's not layered. Yellowstone, that kind of stuff, completely straightforward, very sincere, no irony, no nothing,
Right.
no examination, whatever. And I guess people just like that. And that to me is what's off-putting. I will say I disagree with the person when the TikTok creator. I do find a lot of covers to be offensive. Like when white people cover black music with an acoustic guitar, it's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's giving something weird. Piano covers of rap music. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh
Yeah.
no,
you know what I'm
was
trying to say.
there was a time when
People thought it was funny just
Yeah.
to cover. Yeah.
Oh, and I remember that time, and I engaged.
Yeah.
And now I would not engage. But that's not what Hoot and Toot is doing.
That's not what
Hoot
Hoot
and
and Toot's
Toot's
not
song.
doing that.
Hoot and Toot's
An
song is his
original.
original song.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to our next piece of cursed singing content, where do we come down on Tiptoes Singer? Do we let him cook?
I'm going to go ahead and say blessed because of my AI
Ooh.
thing. Because
Wow.
guess what? AI can't replicate. Well, it probably can, but it can't perform
No.
with as much gusto with
Yeah.
Socks Outside as Brendan.
No. AI can't be in the woods with Kyle Gordon singing.
Exactly.
And for that reason, you know what? I'm gonna say blessed as well.
Yeah.
He's blessed.
Yeah.
I think I started a new segment, you guys.
Yeah, cursed or
blessed.
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 That's really true.
Yeah.
Cursed or blessed.
Cursed or blessed. Julia,
I'll give him a B.
Wow.
I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B.
Okay, so Hoot and Toot Tiptoes Singer, you got a blessed from us.
You got a bless.
You got a
Go
blessing.
on.
Go on, keep singing, get on those tiptoes, and
Exactly.
and the best of luck to you with your
Yeah.
single.
But was he wearing an American flag on his sweater in that video? That's
Ooh, in the
still.
original?
I was trying to figure that out. We
Yeah.
can
It's tough. We said
examine
it
that
was.
later.
We said it was coded in some way.
Yeah. Well,
I also wish I would like him to dye his hair a darker color. Yeah.
Well, you're just asking for too. Like,
Okay.
we
Cut
gotta start with the shoes. We don't have to cut it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he's not wearing shoes, Julia. The dyeing hair, that's gonna be
We have bigger
later.
fish to fry.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
bigger fish to fry.
Sorry.
He needs to do his laundry with OxyClean. Like, we have stuff to take care of.
We're gonna start with getting shoes on his feet, and then we're gonna work up. We're gonna
Up
change
his
the
body.
sweater, and then we're gonna
This
get
comes
to
last.
the hair.
The hair.
So, okay, our next curse.
Some lowlights, maybe.
Our next cursed or blessed singing video. I feel like we're going to come down on the side of cursed, but we'll see. This is a video that has gone viral of a little girl singing Moana on a delayed Delta flight. Have either of you guys seen this?
No.
This is really tough. So a Delta flight to Orlando was 2 hours deep into a delay. Like, the flight had been delayed, and then they had to, it was those thing where you have to circle the airport for a long time.
So awful.
So I think, like, ultimately the flight was delayed 4 hours, and it was like you're on the plane the entire time
that
experiencing this delay.
You can't get snacks or anything either at that time.
And that's
Give me
true.
a bag of chips.
It's true. And they're like, don't go to the bathroom. Just so you know, if you pee, we might not be able, well, you might,
That's
we might miss the
crazy.
window. And I'm like, what?
Oh my
I'm a
God.
human being. Like,
You're literally trapping me
yeah,
in a box right
exactly.
now.
I'm like, so give me a cup or something. Like, what do you want? I have to pee. I have to pee.
Let me vape. at
What do you
least.
mean?
Yeah, at this
Like, give us
point.
some fucking weight. Well,
Yeah.
my edibles already hit. So
Okay, so yeah, that's actually good to imagine. You're on this flight. You're 2 hours into the delay. You're 2 hours into your edible. And this happens. We'll go to this next video, and we're going to watch it.
No matter how hard I try, every turn I take, every trail I trek, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I love to be. See the line where the sky needs to see.
It goes on
It
so
calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island. Everything is by design.
no clapping, nothing.
I know every.
Also, zero stage presence.
I know.
Has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine. I can make us strong.
It's going on so long.
I'll be satisfied if I play along. But the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me?
I like the person who occasionally is chiming in.
Do you think that's her mom behind her, or is that a woman who just has to take a piss?
No one knows
It could be.
how far it goes.
Is she laughing though? I don't know.
It seems like it's calling out to
The
me,
little
so
girl?
come
No, the
find
bomb behind
me.
Also, you guys keep saying little girl. This bitch is taller than us. Like, taller than me and Elise.
Taller than you.
She's not little.
She's.
I thought she was gonna be like 6 when you guys said that.
And it's still going.
If the wind in my sail on the
Also,
sea
what is she
stays
looking at?
behind
She's
me,
like,
The
one
position
day
of the
I'll know
like
how far
crew
I'll
phone that she's using to sing into is really
she can't look at anyone. She
No.
can't look at the audience.
right off the bat, cursed or blessed.
It's giving a C for me.
Yeah.
Giving a seat, no other comment.
Yeah. That's tough. That's tough.
What would you do if that was happening on your plane? Your non-moving plane.
I have such bad flight anxiety too. So
Yeah,
first
you
of all,
do.
when I'm on a plane, I am zooted
Yeah.
on like I am coming at trying to calm myself from so many different angles so that if I saw that, I would be like scared and confused. And also when I'm flying, I think that everyone who's getting up is going to try to open the door of the plane.
Oh
Like
my
God,
God.
that's such a scary fear, Elise.
That's crazy.
No, I am crazy when I'm on a plane. Like, I do not have rational thought. So I would be like, she's planning something. Like, the end of this, she's going to do something. Like, I get scared when people are up and about and walking.
I'm the opposite. I'm always the last person on the plane. Like they
That's
close
so
the door behind me, and then I sleep through the snacks, and then I wake up and I'm like, I missed the dinner, and then they gotta come and get me whatever.
That's funny.
And like I always make you got to make friends with the flight attendants because they always give you free stuff.
That's true.
Or they'll let you sing.
They'll let
I
you
guess.
sing. Guys, confession: my cousin went to Miami with her boyfriend at the time, and they let her boyfriend sing on the flight.
What?
Why?
And she posted it, and it was L is for the way you look at me, and
But it was for her?
for her.
Okay, see, I can get behind that.
That
That's
was like to
cute.
someone. It was worse than this, but I think, and some of the it's tough. But they're doing that. They're being liberal with the phone display thing.
Yeah, I can't get behind allowing impromptu performances on a plane. Like I want everyone to be seated and behaved on the plane.
Literally. Imagine if a comedian was like, let me do like a thing. Like, can you
that's where this is
imagine?
going.
People. Oh,
No, there
It's a slippery slope.
mentally ill comedians asking for that, but
flight attendants would make jokes. That I'll allow.
Yeah,
Because
that
you're
I'll
trying
allow.
to make your job fun. But there are some people that are, and I maybe feel like you're kind of this way. Like, I like to do stand up. I like to perform. I'm not trying to do it at every fucking opportunity.
no.
Like, I went to a bar one time on a date, like on a first date, and then that bar ended up having a show that other people I know were on it. And they're like, "Do you want to come on the show?" And I'm like, "No, I'm on a date." Like,
Literally.
Yeah.
And then, but the other comedians are like, "What are you talking about?" I would have totally like been like, "Watch me on the like."
No.
That's
No.
so
Because
like,
we don't have
people-
that sickness.
I don't
Yeah.
have that sickness.
I also can read the room. If I can tell other people don't want that to be happening,
Exactly.
I don't need to
Yeah.
contribute to that.
No, but there's so many people who have that sickness who go on vacation like to Europe and find the only like English speaking comedy club within 60 miles and do a set. And they're like, I hopped on and I performed and whatever. And I'm like, ugh.
I have
I
done that,
just
unfortunately, but yeah.
feel
So you're not gonna-
personally.
You're not going to do your character on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a character set. Yeah, I'm gonna get my props out.
That was a hostage situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is that I don't want to perform for an audience where
They're not ready. Yeah.
they're not ready and they can't leave because they are trapped. Like
They're
that is-
physically, literally, legally
they will die
trapped.
if they try to get out. So, okay, here's what I'll also say just in general. Thank God that girl's face is not really visible in the video. Like
She's still too old for that.
She's
still
she is too. She could be 12.
That's
I
crazy.
feel like she could have done the chorus once.
She should have.
Once.
Or at
Yeah.
least bring it, girl. Like, put on a show.
Put on a
Yeah.
show.
You were literally hiding from the
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So you're saying more like
If you're
stage presence.
gonna do it,
Blue
commit.
Ivy would never. Yeah.
No.
Blue Ivy would have the choreography.
Absolutely.
Blue Ivy
I
would
used
have the
to
choreo.
perform like that in front of like in party dances, but Millie was bringing it. 10-year-old Millie.
Lil Mel
Unstoppable.
was.
So stats on this video. The original video was posted by someone. It's at Drewy's Roaming. So I think they're like someone who travels a bunch. It has over 24 million views and 3 million likes. And his
More than Tiptoes.
more than
That's-
Tiptoes.
I don't get that.
And it-
Sorry.
And his caption was, when your Delta flight is delayed 2 hours and you circle Orlando for another 2, but then a little girl sings Moana on the crew mic and suddenly everything feels okay. So he framed
That's
positive.
crazy.
That's crazy because that is not suddenly everything feeling okay to me. That's me starting to be like, I'm in the twilight zone. And again, I am on heavy drugs and sedation while this is
Yeah.
happening if I'm on this plane. So I'm like, did I die?
Yeah.
Like, have I passed
This is
over?
a fever dream.
Suddenly
okay.
everything's okay. He needs to be on a list. He needs to be on the list.
Like
If a 12-year-old singing that, it makes it feel okay. Sign up for some
yeah.
editor list.
He
Also, let's stop calling her a little girl. This is a tween.
Yeah, tween. You're so right. She's squarely a tween.
She's a tween.
She's squarely a tween. And I was thinking that woman standing behind her was her mom, but where she's standing, it could just be someone who needs to use the restroom.
Well, she was like this the whole time.
Yeah.
So it could be her mom that like, she's like, please, mom, I want to do it. And the mom's like, yeah, but she's like, whatever. Because, everyone knows your mom's your biggest and first hater.
Mhm.
Or
She needed to hate more. She needed to
needed to hate
say,
more.
She
"Let's
should have said,
actually
you
not
can't do
that."
this.
I think a chorus would have been acceptable.
It went on a long time.
It
She
went on a
got
long
to
time.
once
She sang
she
the whole time.
once she was getting to every trail I track, every road reads.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we can't be doing that.
There's something also, I'm sorry, I'm going to call it out. Something a little icky about an Aryan tween singing Moana.
Yeah.
Moana's for all of us.
Yeah, but it's about Native Indigenous Hawaiian people. And that is no longer. It's no moss, guys, because of colonization.
Yeah.
Let's read the room a little bit. And maybe we don't got to sing all the things about the indigenous people.
tribe.
The tribe of bringing back your inherent nomadic nature.
That's the thing.
That is, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
There is a dark irony
There's
about
a dark irony.
singing about exploration and I'm being called. And it's like, actually, literally in here, everyone in here is in jail with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that for sure. I feel that all little girls are allowed to sing the I Want song from Moana.
Everyone can sing it publicly for 3 minutes on a flight.
That I have a
tough.
distinct problem.
And I'm saying that does add. It's like the acoustic guitar versions of rap songs. It's not as bad, but it is. It would be a class. Like it would be a misdemeanor. You know what I mean? Or like it would be like a manslaughter instead of murder one. Murder one is a white girl with a ukulele singing. I'm gonna smell that dick or something.
And she does the N-word.
And she does the N-word and stuff.
She keeps the N-words in.
That's first degree murder. We're talking accidental manslaughter on the white preteen.
Yeah, I would say even maybe just criminal negligence.
Criminal negligence. All right, well, and that's why they have a jury of the peers.
Yeah.
Because I would come down harder. She's doing criminal negligence. We all know a crime has been committed here. What say you, Julia?
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
Okay, so I will say that if we go to this next slide, comments are pretty universally negative.
Open the door, jump out.
Open the door,
I'm with
jump
David.
out. This is actually my worst nightmare in personal hell. No hate to this girl, but the parents should know how to read a room. Not everything should be centered around your child. She isn't Moana. Life isn't a Disney movie. Get me out of this plane immediately.
Yeah.
Moana didn't cross the ocean for this. I mean, she's not bad, but that doesn't mean anyone wants to hear it. And that's coming from a Moana lover. It just kept going. Why would anyone let this happen?
God.
I think these are all correct.
Yeah, I agree with all of these sentiments. I am like, why did the parents let this happen? And then my other question is, why did the crew let this happen?
The crew's they're just trying to get people off their back. They're like, you want more snacks? I'll give it to you. You want this? Because a flight attendant was packing out snacks. Like, you want to get the fucking mic? Go ahead, bitch. Because it's not their fault that it's delayed. And the flight attendants, clearly they're talking because of Nathan For You Season 2. they're communicating now. I'm just saying.
Like, oh, you guys want to play around on planes?
Yeah.
You guys want to mess around with what happens on the plane?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know anything about this little girl, whatever. Her voice wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
No, she has not been doxxed, which I think is good.
Yeah.
So this starts going viral, and then other people who were on the plane start posting their own angles. So these are just two. This one was is like a Snapchat one where you can see the text is, "We're delayed on the runway 3 hours, and they let this girl sing over the intercom. What is this shit?"
Holy shit.
And another kid delayed 6 hours who let this girl sing. And what I do appreciate is that all of the posters I've seen have had it trained on their own faces listening. So
not showing her.
They're not doxing the little girl. And I do think everyone is like, this sucks, but the adults who allowed it to happen are to blame, not the tween.
True.
Not the tween.
That's not what Julia said.
Julia says lock her up.
Lock them all up.
Lock them all up.
But here's the thing. If the video was of her, like, kind of fighting off a flight attendant who was like, you have to give this back. And then she's like fighting for her life singing, I would love it.
Yeah.
That would be different.
If there was a conflict.
There's no subversion here.
Yeah.
She's not giving performance.
Again,
she's not giving out.
Where's the tension?
Where's the tension? Where's the
climax?
Where's we need eye contact with the audience.
Give me, that's the
some
thing.
Dance moves.
Yeah.
If you're going to demand people look at you, give them a show.
Give them a show. Because I would say the stage presence was lacking.
Yeah.
The voice, she had a nice voice.
Decent voice.
But time and place and stage presence. So just to wrap this up, I am going to read this quote from, this is from an article in Men's Journal. A woman who was on the flight shared, "We were delayed about almost an hour and a half, 2 hours to even get on the plane. So tensions are already high. People are pissed. They've missed connections, and some people just want to get home. Some passengers were furious as their Delta in-flight entertainment screens were interrupted as the young girl performed the entire song." So you're trying to watch a movie, and they're like, the thing comes on that's like, there's an announcement, and it starts singing.
Wait, so if all of those details were in the video, I think I would be all about it, actually. Because now that's the tension. Like, this is becoming like a nightmare fever dream. And I want all of that in
we needed
the video.
The stakes more.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I actually think so.
And so where this ends is that Delta has responded to what has happened. And this was a quote they gave to Newsweek. "We appreciate the customer sharing her talents and apologize to our customers for the delay in their travels."
Yeah, they can't come down
say
either way.
anything.
They can't say anything.
So before we hand it over to our final segment, I know you already said it's a C, cursed or blessed.
I'm gonna say it's cursed. I want to say neutral because I feel bad for the girl, but it's kind of cursed.
It's cursed to me as well. Just the implications of it, the idea that this could happen to anyone on a plane. I do not think the crew should be handing over the crew mic for performances of any kind.
Agreed.
I'll say that. When I see videos of people playing guitar, walking up and down the aisle, I hate that.
I feel like, there was this one commercial flight that had all of Bad Bunny's, like, backing band, like the salsa band, and they were playing on the flight. Or, like, if everybody...
But I don't want that.
I do. I'm like, if there's a whole gospel, like, choir that's going on their way to a competition, I'd hear a bar. I'd hear, I'd hear something. Like,
well, they're professionals.
Yeah,
they're going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm still just like, no.
You're too high for anything.
No, and also it's like, I don't know, traveling sucks. I don't think it's made better by a musical performance that you didn't ask for. Some people are trying to like work on a flight. Some people are just trying to fucking read. Like, it can't, unless it's an agreed upon, we're on the Bad Bunny flight and people are going to sing. I don't think we can be having performances in the air.
Okay. Well, we're divided. We're polar.
We're polarized on that, but not on this.
Not on this.
So first piece of content blessed, second piece of content cursed. We solved it.
And
now we're on to our final segment.
Grasshole of the Week. Grasshole of the Week is the segment of our show where we nominate one person who needs to go touch grass more than anyone else. And go connect with the real world. Go live a real life. And our Grasshole of the Week is a creator by the name of Liv Schmidt. And she used to have 670,000 TikTok followers. She currently has 323,000 Instagram followers and now has 97,000 subscribers on YouTube. So this is all of our sources, or a lot of the sources from this piece is from an article in The Cut by E.J. Dixon. And Liv Schmidt is a skinny influencer who makes content directed at, she says, young professional white-collar women who work at a desk all day.
Emphasis on the white.
Yeah.
Well, quote, for me, it's always, this is Liv saying, for me, it was always easier to cut out 300 calories of food than to burn 300 calories in exercise, especially if you're a career person with a limited amount of time, she says. Schmidt says she's never struggled with disordered eating, but she knows what it's like to experience discomfort in her body. In the 3rd grade, she's met with a nutritionist, psychiatrist to understand anxiety. So it's like, she says that she's not, encouraging eating disorders and stuff, and that she's never had an eating disorder. She just has had nutritionists and psychiatrists talk to her about not eating in school. And
since the 3rd grade?
In the 3rd grade. And she was put on medication to treat her generalized anxiety disorder and how nutrition, so she's kind of skirting around. She's like, I don't have disordered eating. I just had problems eating. I was like,
I just had problems eating that have been medically treated by psychiatrists and professionals.
So she's been accused of being a rage baiter or purposefully trying to outrage views. She doesn't really deny it. She uses pig, cow, and whale emojis sometimes at her posts and jumps on opportunities to joke about thinness. After YouTuber Nikado Avocado revealed his 250-pound weight loss earlier this month, Schmidt posted a TikTok saying that she was forcing herself to walk rather than to go to happy hour after work because, quote, I refuse to let Nikado Avocado be skinnier than me. So let's watch one of her videos to get kind of a feel before we get into why she's Grasshole.
Here's the thing. All those rules about no sugar, no dessert, no treats are backfiring. They're turning a simple craving into a full-blown obsession. Instead of having a small sliver of a cake, I'm not talking a full cake, I'm talking like 1/4 of a slice. You're replacing it with healthier sweets, which end up being way more high calorie and way worse for you. Because let's be real, the almond butter with the maple syrup and the honey can sometimes be even more calories. You should have just had the brownie because sometimes the lower calorie sweets, again, trigger because it doesn't hit that sweet spot craving, so it triggers you eating more and more and more. Sugar isn't a health food. Duh! But the issue isn't sugar itself. It's the restriction mindset. The minute you tell yourself, I can't have that, your brain goes, guess what? Watch me. Suddenly sugar is all you can think about. The solution, allow yourself to have sugar when you actually want it. No guilt, no rules, no I'll start over tomorrow. For me, I know sugar doesn't make me feel my best. It can leave me bloated, sluggish, feeling heavy, feeling tired. So I save it for the weekends or special moments because I know how it makes me feel. Not because I can't have it during the week, but because I don't want to have it during the week. That's when everything changes, when you know how you feel and you don't want it during the week. Because people are like, Liv, you say this, but then you do low calorie, low sugar, healthy recipes during the week. Guess what? I don't want to feel bloated, sluggish, tired during the week, okay? If I wanted a small ice cream, I would allow myself. But because I'm so used to allowing myself to have those things, guess what? I don't want it anymore. I prefer the low calorie sweet treats sometimes during the week. But on the weekends, 100% prefer the real calorie thing. And I have come up with solutions that taste good.
So what do you guys think so far about this girl?
I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I get an ick off of it. That's what I'll say. It's like, I get that. I think she's like trying to say the right thing of like, you should let yourself have a tiny sliver of cake. And I'm like, I guess, yeah. But also, well, she's very thin, which someone's allowed to be, but red flagging to me if you're constantly doing like calorie-based content and you're so thin. And I don't know. There was just a dark energy to that video, I felt.
For sure. I mean, I feel like what she was saying here, some of it was like,
okay.
I'm like, I guess I agree with that to an extent in terms of like, rather than saying no sugar, like if you want it, just eat it. But totally a darkness. There's a little dead behind the eyes.
Yeah. So,
and defensive.
And
like
the beginning of this video, she's like, I don't deny it. I just don't eat it because it makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you are denying it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So
that's like, not to promote my future works, but that's kind of like a character I'm working on for my character team right now, which is like someone, like a fitness influencer who is like dancing around trying to say that they're trying to get thin by being like, I'm just doing it to be healthy, to be lean, to be toned. I just don't want to be bloated. I just like, and it's like, we know what you really want, which is to be thin.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So that's Liv. Separately, so last year in August 2024, psychologists by the name of Madison R. Blackburn and Rachel C. Hogg developed a study based on the correlation of women seeing content like Liv Schmidt and developing anorexia. And they sampled 275 women between the ages of 18 to 28. And they're seeing if they were exposed to like this kind of content, which is like, they call it like pro-ana content, like pro-anorexia, skinny influencer, whatever, versus a neutral TikTok, and then versus people who don't see it at all. And obviously women who do see it have like way worse experiences in their body and way worse opinions in their body. And the women who see it even neutrally, like who don't necessarily get served it, but will get some exposure, also report bad. So it was just basically this really popularized study that's like, TikTok getting fed this shit will fuck up your brain and how it views you. Sure. And like, it's all in the algorithm for feeding and radicalizing people even worse. So right after this was published last year, TikTok deleted her account when she had 600,000. TikTok deleted her account last year, and because of the eating disorder stuff. And in April, the conservative women's magazine Evie,
Ooh, I've heard of Evie.
we've all heard of Evie. It's trying to make like trad wife things cool.
Yeah.
And the first cover, throwback, the cover of their first ever magazine was Miss Ballerina Farm.
Yeah.
Just trying to give Ballerina Farm like make trad wife stuff aesthetic, and it's Evie for like evangelical. But they featured her in a profile called, and the quote was "banned for being honest." So that's kind of her vibe. She gets kicked off of TikTok. What's happening now? Why is she Grasshole? Schmidt started a paid subscribers only chat on Instagram called Skinny Group Chat Community on Meta, where she has 67,000 followers. And she says hundreds of people are paying $9.99 a month for access to the group, where she shares more content such as motivational quotes about weight loss, her essential grocery list, and it's like a place for accountability, so groups can help each other, like update each other on progress. And the fee supposedly is intended to weed out fake accounts. She shares screenshots with feedback from members of the skinny group, including women she said she helped them overcome their eating disorders and who she felt she was teaching them a healthy way to be skinny. It is estimated that she was earning $130,000 a month.
Holy shit.
A month.
Holy shit.
65, so she had 6,500 members, paying members in the Skinny Society. So it's spelled SKINNI Society, SOCETE. So what goes on Skinny Society? In March, she reposted a message from a follower who wrote her school paper about how much she looks up to Schmidt. Quote, her content has helped and continues to help so many young girls form a healthy relationship with food and exercise, this fan wrote. She truly exemplifies the values of what a role model should be. She has quotes that she posts where it says, eat like you're the main character because you are. And then another one, eat like your highest self is watching. Eat like your next weigh-in is tomorrow.
You know what that's giving? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Nothing
Absolutely.
tastes as good.
That's like
That's the original.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the OG.
yeah.
So, again, like, I'm just going to go into what she says and like, what's the vibe of this thing? Because this is what E.J. Dixon found was like, Schmidt would always say, like, you're doing everything except for this one thing. You're a smart girl. You need to stop overeating and eat less. Her subscriber-only grid features glamorous black and white stock photos of models on yachts or in Italian piazzas sipping coffee or demurely slipping on designer glasses with captions like, what to do when people comment on your food, end quote. How I stay silent, skinny, and unbothered. In Schmidt's world, thinness isn't just...
Silent, skinny, and unbothered?
Silent, skinny, and unbothered. In Schmidt's world, thinness isn't just a physical state, but the basis of an entire luxury lifestyle. So what ended up happening, so that's kind of the content, right? So the journalist interviewed people who were formerly in the group, and she went in the group herself, like undercover. And one girl who was named Annie joined because she thought the advice was basically what's happening is she's kind of telling people to eat less than 1,000 calories a day.
That's
take 27
dangerous.
Yeah, and take 27,000 steps a day and eat like less than 1,000 calories. And then one girl who was 20 years old said that she thought it was just kind of like to encourage like walk more, eat less. But then it got so competitive on who could eat the less, like who, whatever. So Annie said she had a history with binge eating and would regularly post some photos of her meat. Okay. So Annie said that one time, and this was one of the things that got her to leave the group. Annie is a 20-year-old. She said that there was this woman who was in the group that had a history of binge eating and would regularly post her meals, so people could eat. And it was all vegetables. And the girls would often praise her and support and be like, oh my God. And Annie's like, is no one going to tell her to like talk to someone or seek professional help? That's one thing for adults. But what the journalist found was that there are teens in this group. Even though this is quote from Schmidt, Schmidt says that the group is only open to quote biological girls over the age of 18.
Okay, so we're putting some transphobia in here.
And she's
awesome.
very Trumpian. But there was no age verification when the author joined. Three people told her that they noticed members of the group who they believed to be in high school because they referred to homework. And she at least found 12 members of that group who listed their high school in their bios, and she confirmed their age by cross-referencing with other social media profiles. One member in the thread recently mentioned that she was graduating high school that day, and somebody else said, "Congrats, you'll be the skinniest girl at your graduation."
Oh my God.
So
dark.
Any thoughts before we keep going?
Oh, this makes me feel really bad. This makes me feel. I don't know if you guys were ever like in the ever saw like pro Anna Tumblr content.
No, but I know that a lot of this is where it comes.
That's like, I think pro Anna is a online term that has existed for a while about like content that encourages like super skinniness, and it really proliferated on Tumblr for a while. I don't know if that's where the term originated, but I've always associated it with Tumblr. And it's very much this. It's like images of like super skinny people and like these false, again, like nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, like false motivating phrases to get you to stay skinny. The idea of you'll be the skinniest girl at your graduation is so tough.
So dark.
Ugh. Yeah, major ick on all
Should
this.
we all join and kind of like fuck shit up though?
Well, great point, because actually, so Meta has a bunch of stuff in their policies, and most social media has this. And ironically, it's under the suicide, self-injury, and eating disorder/eating disorder. That's all in the same section because they view it as the same. And they have a strict thing that they don't allow content that promotes, encourages, coordinates, or provides. They don't allow imagery of people when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders. They don't allow, this is what Meta says, content that focuses on depiction of ribs, collarbones, thighs, because that's how they would get away with it. They would post, ribs, collarbones, thigh gaps, hips, concave stomach, protruding spine, scapula, visible bones in arms or legs, or hollow cheeks when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders.
That's what a lot of the pro Anna content on Tumblr looked like. Like it would be just like an image of like this, of the skinniest thighs and the thigh gap. And then like that was it.
Yeah. Content that contains instruction for extreme weight loss behavior, content to admitting to extreme weight loss behavior when shared together with terms associated with eating disorders, content that, instruction for restrictive dieting, content that mocks whatever. So that's a Meta's policy. So basically the author sent stuff. Meta was like, we're looking into it. And then after publishing it, Meta says that they've restricted the account. So it's only visible to people 18 or older, but people lie.
Yeah.
And also that they demonetized her account. So she's no longer allowed to make money.
Well, then she's going to stop doing it, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
that 150K a month
doing this.
Here's the thing. I feel like in a few years, she's going to have some serious fucking lawsuits coming her way.
I mean,
I hope she does.
I hope she does. What you'll find is that she's not the only person kind of doing this. There's a lot of other people. They're trying to strike a balance. Meta says like, so when the author was like, there's other people doing this shit, like, and they're skirting around it. And Meta said, like, they're trying to strike a balance between removing potentially dangerous pro Anna content and letting people talk about their recovery. So, and they said that they have people reviewing it, but this is what the author says. Eating disorders are one of the deadliest, most difficult illnesses to treat. Once you start hearing a little voice whispering in your head, telling you to restrict or binge or purge or go on the treadmill or go for a walk, it's incredibly hard to stop listening. There are other skinny talk influencers. There's Amanda Doubler, a fat loss and mindset coach who makes videos enumerating things you can do that keep you being stuck and fat. And Mandani Zargami, a Miami-based influencer with almost 350,000 TikTok followers who lectures followers who are, quote, built like a Buffalo Big Back or a linebacker. So the next post, so after she gets demonetized, she posts this. She crashes out. She posts like 100 fucking stories. She posts this which is underrated weight loss tip I swear by. Drink the same tea every night before bed. I drink the peppermint tea every night before bed. It's not tea, it's a cue. A cue to my body now knows mint tea means kitchen is closed, it's bedtime. Body in bed, mind in control. Try this if you struggle with sleeping and late night eating. And so that's her video. And then the caption says, these are the kinds of tips I share with my 7,000 plus girls in my community. Not eating disorders, not extremes, not shames, no meal plans, no calorie counting, no tracking, no food off limits, just portion control. How she responded over the weekend before she was demonetized. So her bio read, quote, it's not a sin to want to be thin, saving America from obesity one person at a time, but that was changed on Monday. And new videos posted over the weekend are no longer visible. She said she wouldn't discuss what she eats in a day or grocery hauls on TikTok. Quote, you lost the privilege, she said, while directing viewers to her other social media accounts. While most TikTok users are able to create multiple accounts, the company's guidelines say it may restrict or permanently ban those that post violative content on new profiles. So basically, she can't get her TikTok back, and she lost this subscriber only Meta thing. So now what people on Reddit have found is that she now has a new Google form. It is a Google form for a private NDA vault that is $3,000 a month, and it's on Telegram. And it is, she quotes, you're applying to be one of 30 maximum granted access to the Skinny Society secrets. A private NDA bound vault. Now she wants everyone to sign NDAs for this shit. For women who are done spiraling, done guessing, and done sharing their goals with people who don't have any. What's included for $2,900 starting June 1st, ending July 1st. Group calls and Zooms where we do questions and answers, the vault skinny tools, more tailored monthly challenges, a skinny PR box with all her favorite things, a locked Telegram thread with 29 women who don't post about discipline, they live it, an NDA because discretion is part of this lifestyle, 24/7 access to call me, text me, live workouts, and you'll be expected to report every day, track your patterns, show up on time, not spiral, be determined, be dedicated, no refunds, no softness, no leaks. These are for women who are ready to work. So she's been posting that. She's like a kind of Fox News contributor. Like she is like pretty MAGA-y. But yeah, this is what she's
We gotta
doing
join.
We gotta
should we
get in there, you
GoFundMe for
guys.
us to be one of the 29?
in the Skinny Society.
We don't sign the NDA. We leak it all. We bring her down.
We sign a
Somebody's
false
gonna
NDA.
be doing that.
I mean, yeah, no, there's no way that whatever this NDA is, you can't make people sign an NDA and then do harmful things and be like, well, no one's like then an NDA becomes null and void.
Is that what you feel like? That's where people are gonna start suing her?
I think they can, honestly, based off other things, because I think that there are going to be underage people in her groups who are going to be like mentally and emotionally affected by her content that's going to probably stick with them. I feel like the age thing is something that she can get in trouble for. Also, she's not an expert in it. She's not a nutritional expert. She's not a trainer. So to give this advice, this like just snake oil advice to people who could be diabetic, like you could cause serious harm to someone down the line. And I do feel like she could be on the hook for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing she posted that's like about the peppermint tea, sure, whatever. That's like innocuous enough advice, I guess. But like that is not what's being said in this secret NDA Skinny Society. You know that the stuff that's in there, the stuff that troubled the author of this article, that's a whole different level. Sure, maybe what she puts out on public-facing videos is more subtly coded, skinny, thinspo type shit.
Yeah.
But my guess is what's being said in this is like, don't eat.
Yeah.
Don't eat ice if you feel hungry.
Eating is weakness.
Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of like tough love vibe of like, why aren't you losing weight? And it's like, does this person need to lose weight? I mean, it's just dark. It's really dark.
Well, something that the author said was that there were girls in the group that were experiencing side effects of undereating, which is hair loss, dizziness, brain fog. And what they were saying was like, oh, take sugar bear hair or like
Eat sugar bear
to get
hair.
their hair back. Like take all these other drugs or drink tea or all that stuff. So like that is the disturbing thing. Yeah, and it's like,
you can permanently destroy a young girl's body by having her be malnourished for
and
a
these girls
year.
aren't getting periods
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to recover from like not getting enough nourishment in your body, especially if you are a high schooler who is like in an active growing and changing
Yeah.
phase.
Our
Like,
frontal lobe hasn't even fully come in yet either. I'm
No,
like,
it's
why
not.
are we listening? Not we. Why? But
But like, she is quote unquote a model, which like, who isn't a model? Who hasn't modeled on this couch? Like, honestly,
Millie's a model.
I'm a model. You know what I mean? But like, for someone who's kind of in the middle of nowhere, doesn't know anybody in New York, sees this girl living this glamorous life of going to Italy and all this stuff, they're like, oh, this is what I have to do to accomplish that. Yeah, they're gonna. And this girl doesn't fucking know anything. And again, being pro Anna, that's a Grasshole, but that's other issues. But it's the fact that you've profited off of it. There are children in your thing, and all you keep doing, there's no kind of self-reflection. She posted, I couldn't find the actual thing. She posted like 100 stories freaking out, and she's like, all these men get to post whatever they want, but when they see a skinny blonde white woman posting some stuff about her own body, she's trying to use like girl boss feminism.
I know. I'm like,
scary.
and it's just crazy. And that's why I'm like, you need to fucking go outside. Like, you've monetized this multiple times. You're playing with fire. You're not learning any lessons. You just keep making it more and more private. And I'm sure that she's ratcheting up more and more of what she's saying.
Yeah.
And she's going to get herself fucking sued.
Yeah.
Log off.
What's about to happen in this group, that's going to be some real fucking darkness. That's not.
What's 3,000 times 30?
there's
much
no way
money
to
she's
know.
making? There's no way to know. There's no way to know.
I think it's 90.
90,000.
90,000.
90,000. Okay.
$90,000. Yeah.
Wow.
She's hopefully going to make.
They're not a math podcast. I was wrong.
She needs to touch grass, but also I think like seek help because I
Yeah.
also feel like she is not well. Like,
No, she's not.
Yeah, go outside and walk to the office of a medical professional who can help you work
She's
through
walking
what's going
everywhere.
on. Well, yeah, it's like she's walking.
walking.
Use some of those.
she's walking on
27,000
treadmills. We're like,
steps.
go outside in nature.
Yeah, and that's also like the author of this piece interviewed a nutritionist and was like, look at this diet, because took what she eats in a day, which is like waking up and drinking tea and all this shit, right? And the nutritionist was like, this is not a normal thing to eat if you do nothing all day. But this girl's taking 27,000 steps a day. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to monetize it multiple times with teens in there and all this shit. And all her stuff is not talking about, whatever, like teens. It's all about like, she's the victim of this cancel culture is what she's saying. So for the crime of promoting anorexia, monetizing it, Liv Schmidt, for the love of fucking God, go touch grass. Julia, thank you so much for
This
coming.
was an amazing episode.
Amazing
guys.
episode.
So
You're the
fun.
best.
You're the best.
Why don't you tell our listeners where they can find you, follow you, see your bob, see your appropriate pants, all the stuff.
The pants are appropriate.
Thank you so much. That is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. You can follow me on Julia Shiplett, at Julia Shiplett. Let me start that again. You can follow me at Julia Shiplett on pretty much every platform, and come see my Bob live sometime this summer.
Yeah.
Go see her
Oh,
Bob
guys,
live.
Julia's one of the best.
One of
It
the
was
best.
so
So
funny, so great on every show. Guys, you can follow this podcast at Go Touch Grass Pod on everything. You can follow me at Pandalise on Instagram and at Elise Navidad on TikTok.
You can follow me at Millie_Tamaris on Instagram and TikTok, and Millie_Tamaris on Twitter. I'm still there. Sorry. It's still shit's still popping. Shit's still popping.
We got to be on there. It's our work.
We got to be on there. So that's it.
Until next time,
go touch grass.
That was a HeadGum podcast.
Hi,
I'm Jessie Klein.
And I'm Liz Feldman, and we're the hosts of a new HeadGum podcast called Here to Make Friends.
Liz and I met in the writer's room on a little hit TV show called Dead to Me, which is a show about murder.
But more importantly, it's also about two women becoming very good friends in their 40s.
Which can really happen, and it has happened to us.
It's true.
Because life has imitated art.
And then it imitated life.
Time is a flat circle.
And now
we're making a podcast that's about making friends.
And we're inviting incredible guests like Vanessa Bayer.
Wow, I have so much to say.
Lisa Kudrow.
Feelings, they're a nuisance.
Nick Kroll.
I just wanted to say hi.
And Matt Rogers.
I'm like on the verge of tears.
So good.
So good. To join us and hopefully become our friends in real life.
Yeah, take it out of the podcast studio and into real life. Along the way, we are also going to talk about dating, spousing,
true,
parenting, careering,
yeah,
and why we love Thelma and Louise, and it's the greatest movie of all time.
Shouldn't need to be said.
No,
but
we said it.
It's just a true thing. So please subscribe to Here to Make Friends on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and watch video episodes on YouTube. New episodes every Friday.
Hey, I'm Jake Johnson, and I host the HeadGum podcast, We're Here to Help, with my partner, Gareth Reynolds. We're Here to Help is a call-in advice show. Think Car Talk from back in the day. We're determined to help fix life's dumbest problems. We also have guest helpers join us from the entire cast of New Girl to Michael Cera, Andy Samberg, Jimmy Kimmel, just to name a few. So do me a favor and come check out an episode and then bounce around our catalog. We're over 150 episodes so far, so there's plenty of stories for you to discover. Subscribe to We're Here to Help on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every Monday, and bonus episodes drop on Wednesdays.